Azerbaijan offering full scholarships to Guyanese students, faster internet connectivity for Letham, and pensions in the bank for seniors by next year. This is InfoHub Recap. Stay with us for the next half an hour as we take you through major stories covered during the week August 19 to 23.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
Thanks for joining us. Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Azerbaijan, His Excellency Elkhand Polakov, during a two-day visit to the Guyana Summit, announced that his country is offering full scholarships to Guyanese.
Ambassador Polakov paid a visit to InfoHub, where he spoke of some of his government's plans to strengthen diplomatic relations with Guyana. Among these would be a revolving door with regards to training and education.
A few years ago, government of Azerbaijan decided that since we had already enough experience in different spheres and we have what to share with countries similar to Azerbaijan, they set up the scholarship for countries members of non-alignment movement and countries members of Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Through that scholarship, Guyanese can get access to the different universities in my country.
These studies, the ambassador noted, were in different sectors, not only oil and gas, and go from the level of bachelor's, master's to PhD. Additionally, he said the door was also opened for training and collaboration in the areas of tourism. The non-resident ambassador also delivered an invitation to President David Granger to attend the upcoming non-aligned movement and paid courtesy calls to both the Minister of State, Honorable Dawn Hastings-Williams, and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. the Honorable Karen Cummings. Guyana and Azerbaijan established diplomatic relations on September 1, 1995. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
The 32-year-old Presidential Guard was found unconscious opposite the National Gymnasium by first responders of the Guyana Fire Service on July 1 and was rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. He died after a few weeks of hospitalization. The President has called for an inquiry into his death.
President David Granger this morning attended the viewing of the body of the late Constable Winton Cooper, former member of the Presidential Guard, at the Lycan Funeral Parlor. While there, the head of state empathized with Cooper's grieving mother, Miss Lorraine Peters, and other relatives. The 32-year-old Presidential Guard was found unconscious opposite the National Gymnasium by first responders of the Guyana Fire Service. He was rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. He died after a few weeks of hospitalization. President Granger has called for an inquiry into his death.
Good news for our senior citizens. They will be able to access their pensions via their bank accounts come 2020. This was disclosed by Minister of Social Protection, the Honorable Amna Ali.
At the moment, we are engaging the Bankers Association to have pensioners' money paid into their accounts so that they don't have this hassle to go to post offices.
Minister Ali was at the time being interviewed on the National Communications Network's Insight Radio program on The Voice of Guyana. According to the minister, senior citizens who will receive pension for the first time in 2020 will be the first to benefit from the new service. She explains why.
We couldn't do it this year, and we couldn't do it for the existing pensioners yet because it's a tedious exercise. And we are beginning to distribute pension books early November. Now, I can't give you a pension book then and at the same time work out dealing with the banking transaction, because you might double up and we might have problems. And so what we are going to start with is the new pensioners who've got to get pension from 2020, that we are going to deal with the bank for that.
Kellen Rover for InfoHub.
With the extraction of oil and gas starting in 2020, the infrastructural landscape of Guyana is set to undergo a significant shift. One of the major benefits will come from natural gas that will be used to bolster GPL's electricity grid.
So therefore we have the gas. What we're doing now obviously is building out the architecture. It comes in by pipeline and we're going to have a 188 megawatt power plant.
Minister of Public Infrastructure Honorable David Patterson on the Voice of Guyana radio program. With the new power plant in operation by 2021, it is expected to produce a large amount of energy, unlike any existing power plant in Guyana.
But the money we have now goes and buy fuel, but now you have your own natural gas from your own indigenous source. The generating costs of people in Guyana is cheaper, as well as now the money that you save that you would have been previously using to buy diesel and fossil fuel to run GPL, you put that back into the economy.
GPL has been granted permission by the minister to purchase an additional 33 megawatts that will allow the power utility company to have a total capacity of 160 megawatts. This will lead to an increase in reserves so that the power utility company can be better prepared for emergencies.
That gives you about 40 megawatts of reserve based on our current load. So that will carry you until 2021 when you have the gas in power in line and the new generating sets there.
This natural gas power plant will comply with a component of the government's Green State Development Strategy, Vision 2040, which seeks to ensure oil extraction in association with natural gas production is done most beneficially. The 188 megawatt power plant will assist the government in upholding the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 7 that aims to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Shaquille Bourne for InfoHub.
Residents of Letham and surrounding communities can expect faster internet connectivity in a matter of weeks. This followed a site visit to the LTE tower in the township by Minister of Public Telecommunications, the Honorable Catherine Hughes, and a team.
General Manager of the National Data Management Authority, Floyd Levi, explained that the tower's infrastructure was part of the failed $1.3 billion fiber optic cable project under the previous administration. Levi said the site was abandoned in 2014, and in 2016, a team from the Ministry of Public Telecommunications and the NDMA visited the area.
At that time, we looked at what we could possibly have resuscitated the site to do. Since then, we sought a couple of options, and the option that worked for us was to actually use this site, actually refurbished it, brought it back to work, and use this site to deliver internet access to the township of Letham.
Levi explained that the works will be completed within 3 weeks so residents in the area can benefit.
All of the government agencies in Letham, including the hospital, the library, the St. Ignatius Secondary School, and we're moving towards the regional, the RDC, the police station. And with recent work, we can now get to the communities in the foothills of the Kanuku Mountains. Some of those communities would be Parikwara now, which is in the far west of the Kanuku Mountains, Quarry, Kumu, Moka, and coming further to the north up to Iowa.
Currently, Letham's internet speed ranges between second generation and third generation. The installation of the LTE tower in the region is part of the coalition government's efforts to bridge the gap between the coast and the hinterland. This includes bringing the quality of government services to every part of the country.
The Mahakali Abari Agricultural Development Authority is assisting flood-threatened farmers in Maikoni.
The MMEA has been carrying out extensive drainage and irrigation works along the Mahakali facade with the help of an excavator from the NDIA in a move to improve drainage in the area.
We've been helping individual farmers importing the low spots on the land and clearing trends so they can have faster drainage. Since then, we are also putting forward the operation of the Pineground Pump Station. The water is pump has been working 24 hours there for the past 2 weeks also. And in this area where we are right now here at the back, there's some low spot where farmers are claiming they're threatening the dam and overtapping. So that's where the excavator is currently right now.
The machine was dispatched to the area and is assisting with the flooding situation, despite the fact that the farmers who are most affected have refused to pay their dues to the MMEA.
We try as much as possible to ensure that we assist. I must admit we may not assist people 100%, but we try. We would have liked to send 2 more machines, but as I said before, farmers have to realize that it's not MMA must play its part. They also have to play their part by paying the requisite charge to the MMA.
These very farmers have also claimed that they've lost their crop due to excess flooding, despite the fact that, as you can see behind me here, the rice is in good condition.
We have not seen any loss of crop or seen or verify that any such losses is on ground. But we are checking, and so far we did not see. We have staff in the area who check the area, and they have not verified any losses so far.
From the farming community of First Savannah along the Mahakali facade with videographer Mahinda Raj, I am Nkosi Bruce for InfoHub.
Minister of State, the Honorable Dawn Hastings-Williams, has called on the residents of Purima in Region 7 to expand their agricultural production to further develop their community. The call was made during a recent visit to the area.
Purima is an Aracuna village in Region 7, close to the border with Venezuela. The traditional farming community is now faced with an issue of food shortage because of challenges with the weather and its impact on their crops. Minister Hastings-Williams, during her visit, distributed food relief packages prepared by the Civil Defense Commission, CDC, to the villages of Purima and Kurukubaru that has been affected. She also urged the farmers to begin diversifying their crops.
We have to start thinking differently. If the cassava takes 9 months, we have to start thinking of other short-term crops that we can plant and use while your cassava is being matured. You can do crop rotation.
The state minister also urged the farmers to consider the benefits of value-added production and promoting their products as a healthy alternative.
People will buy it because they know you don't use fertilizers here. Many persons are becoming health conscious and they don't want to buy foods and vegetables that use fertilizers. They want to buy fruits that's coming directly from the rich soil, which is healthy. So you have to start thinking in terms of that. Try to move from taking the raw materials to making other products.
Minister Hastings-Williams underscored that even with the imminent oil production and the revenues that will accrue, it is important to have a viable agriculture sector. Reporting for InfoHub, Natasha Smith.
The new school term is almost upon us, and as students prepare to return to the schools, the Ministry of Education is improving and maintaining school infrastructure across the country.
Over 20 schools in Georgetown are being targeted for repairs, maintenance, and complete rehabilitation. The head of the buildings unit, Ron Eastman, accompanied by a senior engineer, inspected ongoing works at several city schools today.
The visit that we would have been on is a complete rehabbing in terms of preparations for school reopening, which ranges from rehabbing to existing building to new construction, from primary to secondary, nursery as well. And these works include not only carpentry, but plumbing, electrical, and so forth.
Among the schools with ongoing works are Stella Maris Nursery School, Queenstown Secondary, New Campbellville Secondary, and Belleair Primary, as well as a bridge that provides access to the David Rose Special School. Eastman further explains.
To ensure that you meet the academic standards, and this includes everything from furnishing to the actual accommodation space, and as well as the aesthetics of these locations.
The school inspection is aligned with the ministry's move to make school environments more conducive to learning. Letitia Isaacs for InfoHub.
Still on education, the Legal Affairs Ministry is moving to assist qualified students who are facing financial difficulties completing studies at the Wooding Law School.
When we entered into office, we met the problems that were being encountered by the law students. Very harsh conditions they were operating under. It's even worse now. And the last government had stopped any payment of any economic costs or offering scholarships.
Attorney General Senior Counsel Basil Williams. He met earlier today with the second-year Guyanese law students at the Wooding Law School upon their request. Attorney General Williams told the media that government collaborative agreement with the school had expired due to the stance taken by the previous PPP administration, and the coalition government had to go the process of negotiating again.
That year, when I entered government, we actually had to get the president who was attending the Heads of Government Conference for CARICOM to intervene.
Today, government is offering scholarships through the Ministry of the Presidency, Department of Public Service to qualified students. Via a notice published in local newspapers this weekend, the scholarship was advertised for a limited number of scholarships for Legal Education Certificate (LEC) at the Wooding Law School, Trinidad and Tobago, for the 2019-2020 academic year. Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
8 Guyanese are the beneficiaries of scholarships to study medicine in Cuba for 2019. The scholars attended an orientation exercise at the Embassy of Cuba in Georgetown.
Some of the prospective medical doctors shared their thoughts on receiving this golden opportunity.
I'm very thankful for this opportunity and I will make the best of it.
For a really long time, I've been trying to get into medicine, but this is the final opportunity that I was able to get into medicine, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity. And upon completing my studies abroad, I plan to come back home and work for my country to serve my country in a proper and well manner.
I hope it's a wonderful experience, and when I come back, I hope to serve my country well.
A 2-time Cuba Scholarship awardee, who is already a medical doctor, also spoke with InfoHub.
I'm very thankful for the second opportunity granted to me by Cuba to pursue my studies in general surgery.
Permanent Secretary of the Public Service Ministry, Karen Van Slytman Corbin, offered remarks during the orientation.
Today marks the achievement of another milestone, where at the end of the period of study, both you and Guyana will benefit in countless ways.
These include access to accredited credentials, as well as the students becoming bilingual and securing employment within the public service. The students were also charged to put their best foot forward.
I encourage you to take advantage of this possibility, to study with dedication, focused on the benefits that you can bring to your communities as future health professionals, with professionalism and humanism, fundamental tools of those who devote themselves to this profession.
Reported from the Embassy of Cuba with videographer Jawan Jordan, Shaquille Bourne for InfoHub.
A $31.4 million water ambulance has been commissioned and dedicated to the village of Baracara.
The water ambulance will ensure that emergency cases are transported from the village, which is 4 to 5 miles from the town of New Amsterdam. This is all part of the Ministry of Public Health's vision of ensuring that riverine communities have equal access to health care as on the coast. Officials from the Ministry of Public Health were also present for the commissioning. Minister Lawrence indicated that the public health sector has been able to cross another significant milestone, and it is expected that the residents of Baracara and those living along the Kanji River will benefit from this intervention.
This coalition government is about the development of our people. And so in the health sector, we want to ensure that we're not just talking and writing on paper about accessibility, availability, and all the other things for you to be able to access health services. But we want to ensure that action is taken.
The ambulance has been presented to the region by the Ministry of Public Health and will employ 2 persons. It is also equipped with the necessary emergency equipment to transport 2 persons at a time. Community health worker Kevin Joseph attached to the Barakara Health Center, explained that the water ambulance will make a significant difference in how emergency cases are attended to. He said this will result in persons saving at least $40,000, which would have been expended for the chartering of a boat to transport emergency patients.
Late at night, we have to take out patients who have trauma, persons with fast heart rates, and persons with laceration. And we have a lot of difficulties in the river because sometimes there are grass in the river that causes blockage. I am overwhelmed. I'm excited because it will be access, better health care to the community. Persons will be able to go there very fast to access to New Amsterdam Hospital.
In addition to this new development, the Barakara Health Center will be upgraded to a polyclinic. Also, Minister Lawrence encouraged the youth population of the village to access training in the field of health to return to their community to serve. From the village of Barakara in the Kanji River with videographer Anil Silal, I am Delicia Haynes for InfoHub.
The sod was turned for the construction of a $70 million mortuary in New Amsterdam by the Public Health Ministry. It will replace the existing facility at the regional hospital.
The mortuary being constructed in the compound of the National Psychiatric Hospital is the first of its kind being constructed in the country by the government of Guyana. This facility is one with a difference as the design caters for a chapel for funeral services, a viewing area for post-mortem examinations, and an administrative section. Engineer at the Ministry of Public Health, Naresh Mangar, explained what else the approximately 3,000 square feet building will accommodate.
In addition to that, it would encompass an administrative section where the doctors, after the postmortem, right, they were able to review the results of the postmortem and further complete the report. Right, it would be the first of its kind, I would say, a state-of-the-art facility. We intend to keep this as a template going forward.
The construction of this new mortuary follows a visit by the Minister of Public Health, Walter Lawrence, to the New Amsterdam Regional Hospital in late 2018. The minister was dissatisfied with the location of the current facility.
When I look at where that mortuary is placed and where my staff have to work, it is not conducive to proper working conditions. And so even as the health ministry, we try to provide a service to all the people in this country. The onus is on me also to ensure that I take care of our staff.
The project has been awarded to Andre Vincente Construction Services, who has assured that the building will be completed by the end of December. The contract, however, caters for a 10-month project period. Permanent Secretary for the Ministry, Colette Adams, and representative of the contracting firm executing the project, Ken Vincente, signed the agreement to initiate the commencement of construction. In the compound of the National Psychiatric Hospital in New Amsterdam with videographer Anil Silal, I am Delicia Haynes for InfoHub.
470 youths now have the ability to swim after completing the 2019 July-August Learn to Swim program.
At the small closing ceremony held at the National Aquatic Center earlier today, Supervisor at Colgrain Pools, Desiree Cummings, says the 6 weeks program catered for children ages 6 to 16 and provided lessons which helped in improving their swimming techniques.
The objective of the program was to give every child an opportunity. 1, to learn the art of swimming, to remove fear from those who are fearful, and to recognize their hidden talents.
Director of Sport Christopher Jones emphasized that parents should consider enrolling their children in these types of disciplinary programs since they are incubators for potential talent.
Essentially, this program is geared for us to identify Guyana's best talents as it relates to swimming.
Referencing to Guyana's success in the recently concluded Goodwill Games in Suriname, Jones said the country has potential in taking the sport to another level.
Out of 9 countries, Guyana placed 4th. And the countries that Guyana was able to beat is some of the countries that throughout the years before would often do extremely well.
Among the lessons learned were the introductions to swimming, floating, streamlining, and freestyles.
Reporting from the National Aquatic Center with videographer Karim Peters, I am Kellon Rover for InfoHub.
Before we wrap up, here is your GCAM tip of the day. To know when the GCAM house-to-house registration team will be in your community, call telephone numbers 225-027729 or 223-9653. Remember to get registered. This has been InfoHub Recap, which looked at major stories carried between August 19 to 23. Remember to subscribe to our website for more stories and follow us on our social media platforms. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.